So, welcome to the podcast. It's the best podcast in New York. You got Jeremy Malaspina and my man Dan McCarthy. And we're going to just kick it right off real quick because we got a lot of shit to talk about and we've been putting this off for a hot minute. So, we're a little behind on the news, Dan. We
Yeah,
got
I hear you.
we got some shit to talk about. And by the way, this is our first go around right now. So we're testing shit out in case you guys were wondering. But it seems to be working out pretty good right now. So we're just going to get right into it. So, real quick, we got a bunch of different stuff here I'm looking at. First up, we're going to start talking about some movies, and then we'll work into the gaming side of stuff. Oh, and just recently, I just added a sports topic in here, which I thought was kind of interesting that I just saw on the news like maybe 10 minutes ago. So we're going to get into that too.
See what he
Which,
knows about it first, but we'll go from there. I'll hear him start first.
well, I mean, I kind of just breezed through the article I read on the computer, so we'll fucking see. That's for sure. All right, so first off, we're going to speak about the Avengers Infinity War. They had a new teaser trailer and a move update, which apparently is now moved up to April 27th, I think. I think it was a May 4th release, and they just moved it up to April 27th.
Yep.
So did you check it out?
Yeah, definitely. Hopefully, it'll be as good as being touted to be. That's what I always get worried about with these type of fucking movies, is that what they're going to end up doing is it's going to be the same rundown movie we've seen forever. Because I don't know about the rest of you guys that are watching a lot of these Marvel movies. It is getting bled dry.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I feel like I'm getting a new Marvel movie over and over, and they're all the exact same movie.
Well, it's definitely fucking repetitive, that's for sure. I mean, from what I saw in the trailer, though, it looks pretty dope. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, with the music and everything, they were definitely building up what this movie's gonna be like. But like we were talking about the other day, is it's supposed to be a three-part movie. So we
Yeah.
really don't know how that's gonna really pan out. Like, are we gonna go and see it and be like, what the fuck is this? You know, like yeah, at the end, I'm saying, like, when you're
Yeah.
just thinking, like, oh, they could go on and on and on with this. Like, I don't know. I don't know how it's going to really play out at the end of it, to be
I know how
honest.
it's going to play out for me. It's going to be very similar to when I just started watching The Lord of the Rings. The movie's going to end, and I'm going to be the guy in the movie theater saying, fuck you, Peter Jackson. The movie's just going to end on a complete and utter cliffhanger, and I have the luxury of waiting another, 12 to 18 months before I get to see it again.
See, but that's what makes me curious. Like,
Yeah.
did they do the move update for a reason? Like, are they planning to hit us with a summer release for part two? And then maybe like a winter, like holiday season release for part three? We don't fucking know. That's
I
what's
think you're going
interesting.
to see a lot more of the other ones coming back through. We haven't seen Ant-Man 2 yet. They're
That's
probably going to
true.
thrust in another, what's it called? Amazing Spider-Man, you're going to probably have to see. That's
Yeah.
where they get caught up in it. You got a lot going on, which is awesome. I really think it's going to be good. As long as I get to see Baby Groot, even though he looks like he's an adolescent now, it should be pretty
Yeah,
funny.
there was like some like article I was reading about it for a minute about Baby Groot. There was like some like dark characterization. I want to say. I don't know. I've been going on with that, but yeah, I agree with that. I think I think we're gonna be in for a surprise. Honestly, the way they're building it up to be, it's gonna be good. But you're right. We haven't seen an Iron Man, and they definitely haven't done a standalone Hulk yet.
True.
So we might be in for some good stuff. But we'll see, I guess. You know, we still got a couple weeks before it comes out. And I actually saw on another podcast that I forget who it was, but there was another movie supposed to come out on the 27th. So when Marvel moved up the date, it's some comedian, some chick. She got pissed off. She was like, "Yo, what the fuck? You guys move up that
Yeah,
date. No one's gonna come see my movie."
not at all.
Yeah, so like they're like really pushing this. So I guess we're gonna see what happens. I mean, it looked from the look of the trailer when you see Captain America grab Thanos' hand, you're like, even Thanos is like,
Yeah.
yo, what the fuck? This dude is crazy. So I don't know, but matter of fact, that kind of brings us into our next topic. Uh, I saw a complex news article that states Chris Evans will no longer play Captain America, which I find that's pretty interesting right there. I'm gonna actually pull up that article real quick.
Well, you had mentioned it, like I said when we were talking, and I don't get too surprised. I got to be honest, because you had 3 Captain America movies. You're
Hmm.
shifting into this. If it's gonna stay anywhere streamlined with the comic books, everybody's gonna die anyway. So why not even just
Exactly.
hook out one major character? Because you got to think there are so many actors in this movie, which makes it so complex. Is how are they gonna actually be able to play it? Where technically you should have about 40 comic book heroes together fighting against Thanos. Like that's 40 actors, and most of
Yeah.
these actors are high profile actors playing these roles. So it's going to be interesting to see. Well, you might as well just start killing them off now. Who gives a shit?
Exactly. We already know that's gonna happen. So
Yeah.
spoilers for people that don't read the comics. Everybody dies in this storyline, which kind of makes you think like, what the hell are they doing? Are they gonna reboot the universe? Probably not. But I mean, even if it was like a parallel, one of the other universes, not universes, like the storylines. I mean, to go on forever and ever. But
Yeah, be like X-Men.
yeah, but you know what? Oh my God, let's not get started with X-Men.
Yeah,
Oh my God,
15 movies.
and 15 movies
Oh yeah,
later,
Hugh
and
Jackman. Jesus Christ.
jeez,
I digress.
I know. So anyway, real quick, I got this pulled up real quick. So one of the quotes directly from Chris Evans was, "You want to get off the train before they push you off." So I mean, maybe he's like, at that point of no return. Like, I mean, obviously he knows what's going to happen in the story. So I mean, they're gonna just kill him off. I guess that's coming.
Well, he's trying. I see him in other movies now, actually. Like he was just on something recently, The Gift. It's more like a
Gift.
subtle drama. So he's trying to like broad and bring himself out and see
Mm,
more of what's going on in other avenues, I'm sure. But you're gonna get typecasted. That goes without saying.
exactly. Yeah, but you
And
know
then,
what's funny though? A lot of people thought he couldn't be Captain America because he played the Flash in that terrible fucking what movie was that? The Fantastic Four.
oh
Uh,
god.
oh, it's
No,
not the Flash.
he was the Human Torch.
The Human Torch. Yeah. See,
Yeah.
good thing you're here to fucking fix my fuck ups right there. But yeah, the Human Torch, and like people said, oh, like how is he gonna play a serious role of Captain America? And you know what? He killed it, which I
Could be
got to give
worse. He
him.
could have played Green Lantern.
Oh my god! Let's just be happy that Ryan Reynolds is Deadpool now because that was
Yeah,
fucking
hell yeah.
terrible, terrible movie. Holy
Oh my
shit!
god.
So yeah, that's definitely true. But it's so funny. The complex article it says at the end. Of course, just because Evans plans not to return to the MCU doesn't necessarily mean that Cap will die either. Well, we
Well,
got news for you. Everybody dies. So
well, that's what I said. What are you gonna do? It's not Captain America, so in Infinity Wars Part 2, Hugh Jackman's playing Captain America. Like, what are you gonna do? Like, you can't. You know what I mean? If he's not acting as Captain America, it makes logical sense. Even though we know Hollywood doesn't always do that. To
yeah,
not change the actor, kill him off.
but exactly, and like what's kind of funny? Like what did they think was gonna happen? Like eventually people get old. So like what the fuck? Like like you can't be Iron Man with gray hair. I don't see that in the storyline.
Yeah.
So eventually, even Robert Downey Jr. is gonna get recast. Everybody is. You're only gonna get older. So
Well, we've seen there's like 7 Spider-Men, but I'm just glad
exactly.
enough to see Tobey Maguire running around in the MCU.
Oh my
That's better for
god.
me. Oh
Oh,
man.
I couldn't even deal with that if that was the case. And we're not even going to get into DC and all their latest fuck ups.
Oh God, yeah, what a waste of a topic that would be.
Oh my
I don't know. I'm
god.
sure people that are listening, you guys might have a different opinion on that, but my God, I can't watch the DC movies. The Flash
Honestly,
character wasn't bad, but that's about it.
I mean, yeah, I mean, he was like the like comedic relief, but still, like, I don't dig Affleck as Batman whatsoever. I don't remember the chick's name that plays Wonder Woman, but she
Gail
does a
Gadot, Gail
yeah.
Gadot. Oh my God, I can watch her for days. She doesn't even have to talk.
Exactly. I mean, but she actually portrays the character well.
Yeah.
But still, I mean, I don't even like I watched the Justice League movie and I was highly disappointed. I think the only one part of that movie I liked is when they rose Superman from the dead because I liked how he's fucking everybody up. But besides that, that was like the only highlight of the movie for me. and a lot of people
Even
didn't
the
even.
first one wasn't, Batman vs Superman for me was ruined because they showed Wonder Woman in the trailers before the movie came out. So I knew Wonder Woman was going to be an asset to it. That's like showing me, spoiler alert for people that were, haven't watched TV in 50 years, that Bruce Willis was actually dead in The Sixth Sense. Do you know what I mean? That's like showing me he's a ghost in the trailer, and then I have to watch the movie, and it's like, oh, well, there you go. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know where
Exactly.
they got off thinking like that was a good ploy, but they showed the whole
I
scene
don't
where she
know.
first came in. I don't know. Yeah,
It's
I
just
like the guy that did the Batmans. I'm a big fan of Christopher Nolan.
yeah,
I like
Christopher Nolan
Inception.
did a really good job on the Batmans. I don't know
Zack
why.
Snyder. Yeah,
One of my good friends had told me the reason he's not doing Batman's anymore is because he didn't want to be known for that role,
it's
just
true.
that alone. He wanted to do other things and expand his expertise and his skills to other movies, which you can't blame the guy.
But
You
he's done a
know?
lot of great. For me, I think Shutter Island was his.
Yeah.
Inception,
Oh,
which they're
Inception.
actually making a second of that too. But yeah, no,
That's a
he's done a
great
lot.
movie.
Christopher Nolan, you could tell because he always has the same actors in it. Tom Hardy tends to play in a lot of them. We saw
Mm.
him as Bane. I always forget the guy's name.
Who?
That he played the Robin in the last Robin in the last Batman. He's gonna be the next Batman if you remember from the last
Oh, he's in Inception too, right?
Joseph Gordon-Levitt, I think.
Yeah.
Actually, is his name. Yeah,
Yeah.
and he does a lot of those movies as well. He does Inception, everything he did. So he tends to bring a lot of the same actors involved. That's
Hmm.
why I like him so much.
Yeah, absolutely. So so that's really what's up with the Marvel universe right now. I know we sidetracked into DC, which they're terrible. And you know
Yeah.
what? I like Batman a lot. He's one of my favorites. But come on, man.
Shame
They
on us for
really
giving DC any plugs.
I know, right? Shit. Until you make a good movie, you're not on the podcast.
Yeah.
That's for damn sure. And eventually, maybe we will get back to them on the podcast if they bring something to the table. Fucking terrible. So, moving on though, more Marvel characters because that's the type of week we had last week, which we are behind on the news, but we had some technical difficulties for a little bit. So, we're on track though. So now, also that came out last week, I guess, right? Is
Yeah.
the new teaser trailer for Deadpool 2, which I wanted to bring this up on the podcast because you had told me that the dude that plays Cable is playing Thanos,
Yep.
right? So it's like,
Josh
it's
Brolin.
yeah, it's kind of funny that he's in two big ass movies. I'm pretty sure Deadpool 2 is this year, right?
Yes, yeah, it is. I'm not sure of the exact release date, but yeah, I'm
Yeah,
sure I'm just as pumped as anybody else watching this. First one was a huge hit,
yeah.
and
I
now
mean,
let's
it's
hope they don't. Like I said, I will always worry. I think I said that to you one other time. I worry with the fact that with Deadpool being such a big success on such a small budget, are they now going to try to up the ante, so to speak, on this next reboot? And we're kind of like left, wanting more, so to speak, because I think that one caught us all off guard. Nobody was ready for that. What do they call it? The fourth camera or the fourth person, the way he communicated
oh
with
yeah,
the crowd
right.
during the movie.
Yeah.
Nobody was expecting that. So I thought that was a phenomenal little tip that they put in there.
Yeah, I like that too. I like when they add you in. That actually reminds me of House of Cards. You ever watch House
Yeah,
of Cards?
a little bit, not as like diligent as other people.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, in House of Cards, he really
The
just like straight
third
up
window,
pauses
actually.
everything, and he's like, he's gonna say this right now, and I'm gonna be like, fuck you,
Yeah,
you know. But yeah,
yeah,
in Deadpool 2, he does that shit a lot. In the first Deadpool, he does that shit a lot. I mean, from the trailer though, I don't want to say I was displeased from the Deadpool 2 trailer because it's just kind of showing you what's coming, like more of the action side. I feel like the first trailer was more the comedic side, but this is like more the action. So you get to actually see like what's about to go down. So I mean, it looks pretty decent, especially if it's anything like the first one. We're all gonna be happy.
yeah.
Uh,
And you
and
can
then,
afford a few more X-Men characters, so
yeah,
you'll have to
right.
go with just two. Oh shit!
Exactly.
Oh, but again,
And
another running joke he had in the whole thing.
well, that's true. And what's funny about that is Disney bought all those characters back.
Yep.
So, like, you never know where he's going to pop up next. Which kind of brings us back to Hugh Jackman and his stupid ass fucking comment where he's like, I'm not going to be another Wolverine. It's all
Thank
in the
God.
Avengers. He said,
Thank
"Thank God."
God.
I mean, you can't help it. The guy
Well,
looks
that
like
was the
fucking
first
Wolverine.
teaser trailer too of Deadpool was when he had the metal detector and he was looking and he was looking for Wolverine's corpse and then he's like, oh, I can't dig this guy up again. Well, if they are aware in Hollywood, they have to know that us as fans are like, okay, the guy, I agree, he looks just like
I mean,
Wolverine,
come on.
but
He's
I
like a
am
spitting
so done.
image.
Now I gotta watch him playing Barnum and Bailey, like I said to you, dancing around singing. I can't take the man serious. He's playing Wolverine.
Oh my God, he's in the fucking circus. I can't. What you
Ugh.
told me that the other day, I couldn't stop laughing. Like, I can't believe this dude is in the goddamn circus.
It's not his first though. He does do that a lot. He was in the other one, not
Well, Les
Les
Miserables with the
Miserables. Yeah, so he's
fucking
done that.
gay ass top hat.
He does that too. He's big into that type of shit. He loves it.
Yeah, what do you expect?
And again, you can't typecast the guy right away, but oh my god, I
Oh
just don't
man.
want them to reboot any more X-Men because, like I told you, I'm a huge fan of X-Men. Bigger fan, not even so much of the comic book. It was a cartoon that used to be on when I was younger that we used to watch diligently. And it was such a great representation of it, where you'd have people like Gambit and the actual Storm, not
Yeah.
that whatever crap they tried to pull in the first set of X-Men. And it was really, really good. And then now you're kind of like, maybe it's just watered down. I think that's my
I mean, they.
same way. I'm getting really watered down with just the immense amount of the same type of movies they're making.
No, I totally agree. I mean, it's the same shit. I'm losing your feed. Oh my God, technical
I
difficulties.
just lost you for a second. It's all right. I think we're back.
Yeah, we're good. We're good. So yeah, no, I totally agree with you. Like they fucking ran that whole franchise through the mud a million fucking times. So I don't know how much more X-Men we're gonna be able to deal with. But for you fans, diehard fans out there, I'm sure you're gonna love whatever the fuck comes out next. So we already know that. But now that Marvel has those characters again, you never know what's gonna come. I mean,
True.
I'm assuming they're gonna do some sort of X-Men movie, or they're gonna intertwine them into the universe somehow.
Well, they just did 3, right? I think they finished that third one.
Actually, it popped up on TV the other day, and I was listening to a podcast that was talking about the last movie they did, which I think was Apocalypse.
It had to be that, yeah. Because Days of Future Past was the second one.
Oh, Days of Future. Wait, that was
That was the second one. That was where I had to see what's his name again, Ian Stewart or whatever, as fucking Xavier. I'm like, please, just get this guy off the screen.
I know, the terrible.
I can't hate on what's his name. I think it's Ian McClellan. Is that how you say his name? Because I loved him as Gandalf, so I won't hate on Magneto that much.
Yeah, I mean, he played the character well. I feel like
Well, the new Magneto was good too. I'm a big fan of his as well.
Yeah.
I have trouble with all their names, but yeah, he was from like the new Alien Breakdown. I think he did Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, that's right. Matter of fact, which
Mike
totally
something.
bombed. Totally bombed. It was terrible. I mean, that movie came out 2 minutes too late.
Oh my god, that game! Yeah, because the game was bigger 5 years ago. I don't know.
Oh my god.
They just try to jump on the bandwagon. I feel like sometimes.
And speaking of Assassin's Creed, we're going to get into that topic in a little bit because they had some news recently also. So we're going to get into that also. But yeah, the movie, terrible. Holy shit. It's too bad the podcast wasn't out then because we probably would have ripped it a new asshole when they fucking first came out with it.
Wouldn't have ripped it because I don't waste time watching it, you know?
Oh my god. I think I literally watched like maybe, I want to say 10 minutes of that movie and I was like, nope.
Yep.
Done. That was it. So, breezing through these topics, I know we went on for a little bit about that. But we got, this one really, really struck me from the side. I can't even believe I added this in here. But the Karate Kid coming back with a new movie this is what really got me though. This is the reason why we added this in here. It has a May 2nd release date with no marketing. They released the trailer with 1 month notice. So
yeah, because they just filmed it.
yeah, it was like they filmed it and they're like, oh shit, put the trailer out, put it out right now. Like, come on.
To pick, the video is just a 10-second clip of Ralph Macchio fucking tripping over his own shoelace.
It's like they're older, and it's like I couldn't really understand the concept of where they were going with this. It's called Cobra Kai.
Oh yeah,
Cobra Kai.
Cobra Dojo, man.
Oh my
remember that.
god! And it's like the dude that he fought is the guy that reopens Cobra Kai, something like that. And it's supposedly he like kicks these teenagers' asses in an alley. The guy's like 50, 40 years old. I don't want to say 50. He's not that old, but he's like 40 years old, and he's kicking these teenagers' asses in an alleyway. And then you got good old Ralph Macchio coming in like, hey,
What I don't understand is that
hey.
these movies get $50 million budgets, and then like, look at this fucking shit.
Yeah.
Such a waste of goddamn time.
Oh my god! And I was like, you know what? At first, I thought it was cool because I saw it at lunch. My boss was playing the trailer, and he had it going, and I'm eating my lunch, and I saw it from like a distance. You know what I mean? It was like on the. He was sitting over here, and I'm like eating my lunch, trying to be like looking at it a little bit. But then when I went out to have a cigarette, I really watched the trailer, and I was like, this is not going to be good. Like, I mean, they're trying to capitalize on nostalgia right there. Like,
Yep.
a lot of people, I love the old original Karate Kid. I mean, who doesn't? Especially because when you watch it now, you're like, wow, Ralph Macchio's a fucking asshole. He's really a dickhead in that
Tool
movie.
is a better word.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm like, oh, and I'm watching this trailer, and it's like you can't even follow what the story is. So
There isn't one. You know what I mean? Come on. Like, they already rebooted it with Jackie Chan. I had to watch fucking Will
God.
Smith's douchebag kid. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I wish it was almost like The Pursuit of Happiness. I just wanted, it was, you know what I mean? I just wanted to see his dad yelling at him again. But that's really all it was. Jaden Smith, right? That's his kid.
Yeah, yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Oh my god.
Oh, spoiler alert. He fucking won. Who would have thought? Like, you know what I mean? Can we get a movie where the kid just gets his ass kicked and it's like, you know?
Oh man, that's not good for marketing. You know, you can't have
But
the
what
karate.
marketing?
The karate, yeah, exactly.
Not doing any marketing. Just let the kid get his ass kicked.
Oh man, and then it's like I don't know where this trailer went south because it was like he's like I'm gonna train you to do karate, and then next thing you know, it's like Ralph Macchio pops out of left field like I'm not gonna let this happen. It's like, so is it about the next kid or is it about you old fucks trying to fight like at a karate tournament?
To you guys, me beating the piss out of Ralph Macchio.
Yeah, like Jesus Christ. I'm like, oh my god, this is terrible. It is fucking terrible. I can't believe that like that's another terrible movie that's coming out and people are gonna spend fucking money on this shit.
A lot of money.
Oh man, and especially now, the movies are not a cheap thing to do. So you're.
Well, you want IMAX, you want to do that whole spiel. Granted, I don't need to see fucking Mr. Miyagi in IMAX, but
yeah, we were talking about that the other day.
How that guy, right? That guy ain't doing nothing. Get out of here.
You do not want to see that dead corpse in 4K, that's for sure, or in IMAX with a huge fucking screen.
I get to hear his fucking hips clicking in Dolby surround sound. Thank God. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Oh my god, it's terrible. That was terrible. So. Thank God we got rid of that real quick. I just thought the funniest part about this was no marketing. Just 1 month notice. We'll just put the trailer on Facebook. We're going to get the diehard Karate Kid fans that see the original characters. They're going to go buy it anyway or see it anyway. Oh, yeah. They're going to go. Anybody in their right mind?
La La Land won a goddamn Oscar. I'm pretty sure Ralph Macchio will bring in some money.
I mean,
blows my mind.
They're like praying on
movies nowadays are shit. I hate to say it.
It's
like,
true.
The Shape of Water won the goddamn Best Picture.
Oh yeah, I didn't even.
Blind woman bangs a fish. And that's won Best Picture.
I know it's terrible.
I don't expect like our Marvels and the type of movies like that to win, but good lord, where are the good flicks I used to love back in the day? You know.
I mean, at least
Bravehearts.
At least Marvel is keeping it real. You know, like it looks like a movie I want to see. You know, and there's also what was that other movie that I just got? What was it? The Commuter? That's on my to-do list to watch.
Okay, yeah.
Who knows if that's good? The only reason I got it is because we take the train every fucking day.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, at least I could be watching someone kick ass on the train because we're too busy stiff-arming old women and children.
Liam Neeson?
Yeah, it's Liam
Oh
Neeson.
my god, that's great stuff. That guy
Exactly.
kicking people's ass on a train. Oof.
Come on,
But there you go. Somebody wants to see that. Nobody else would want to see that, but we would, because, like
Yeah.
I said, dealing with the fucking commuting.
Yeah, so real quick, for those who don't know, me and Dan take the train every freaking day, and we see the worst of the worst. We walk through the absolute hood every day. From the
And that's not
guy.
the worst of the worst. The worst of the worst is the regular people that ride the Long Island Railroad.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, my God. I
I'm
don't even
sure
want to
I'm
get
turning
started.
into one, but that could be a
Well,
whole podcast unto itself.
exactly. I mean, we don't even want to get started with what happened this morning. I mean, I looked at Dan this morning and I said, listen, the next person that stands in front of the fucking door, I'm like straight up hip checking them like hockey. Like, not pushing them out of the way, not the 10-second excuse me rule where I just plow through you. Like, I'm hip checking you away from the door. Like, these people are vultures. They want seats for no reason. You're going to get off
Yeah.
the train in 5
The
minutes.
nerve. These people wanted to sit down when they were holding a small child, but, Jeremy, absolutely not.
Absolutely
Needs to
not.
put his feet up and needs to enjoy his 7-minute ride.
That's
He
right.
will move old women and children out of the way.
That's right, goddammit. If you're an old woman or a child, you are giving that seat up to me. That's it. Oh my god. So we're pretty much done with the movies portion of this Assassin Cast. Um, the added topic that I added in has nothing to do with movies or gaming. It actually has to do with sports, which I'm thinking we might have to add a little sports section in. Maybe. We'll see how it goes. We'll see
I'll
what
cover
the
you on that one, bud.
what the critics say. But real quick, this actually caught my eye before we started the podcast. So Zeke Upshaw, he dies from sudden cardiac death.
Yep.
On the basketball court. Well, it wasn't on the basketball court. It happened while he was on the basketball court, and then they rushed him out, and he died at the hospital 2 days later.
Yeah.
Which, that's some shit right there. So
It's going to happen in more and more nowadays. And we used to see it a lot. I used to play lacrosse as a kid. They call it the P on T phenomenon. We'd see a lot of people get hit in the chest. There's a microsecond of a heartbeat where if you take a sudden blow to the chest, you'll actually send your heart into fibrillation. So that's a thing now. So they watch out for that. As far as him, I didn't read the background of what happened to him.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Did he get hit in the chest? But I mean, what
Not
they
that I
said.
saw. Basketball tends to be. He could have had anything. For all you know, you would think at 26, semi-professional level, the doctor should have been taken to care and they would have noticed. But he could have had an undetected murmur or anything along those lines that caused him to, go into sudden cardiac arrest.
Yeah, I mean, what they said on the news was that he had like pre-existing heart condition, like abnormal. I don't remember what it was. Damn, I wish I would have read that more in depth. I breezed through it because we were gonna get started.
Yep.
But maybe next podcast we'll give an update about that. I'll read it in more in depth so I have some knowledge.
Something I'm sure they knew about. That's the key. They were aware of something he had, but again, they cleared him. Doesn't mean that anybody's at fault, but it just means you don't know.
I mean, everybody wants somebody to blame, but you know what? If he did know about it, which you're saying he probably did.
Yeah, absolutely. I think even the trainers knew too. Absolutely.
So I mean,
get to that age and not know.
There's no reason why you shouldn't be taking care of yourself, especially when you're playing sports and professional. Oh, I don't think he was in professional. I think it was like
semi-professional.
Semi-professional.
European league,
yeah, like the G squad or whatever the hell they call it. The G.
Still pretty much professional. Better than me. Beat me on the basketball court. So.
Hell yeah, probably me too. Even right now. He whooped my ass, and God rest his soul. You'd still kick my ass.
Ain't no joke.
That was a tough one right there. Another thing from the sports news is I saw that the Giants were giving up Odell Beckham Jr. for two first-round picks. They're like,
I don't
think
that was confirmed.
I don't know. Matter of fact,
last I saw, they're just talking. I know anybody that listens to this podcast that's a New York fan. Personally, I think that'd be the most idiotic move the Giants made. I am a diehard Jet fan, but absolutely worst possible move they could do because you're not going to get as much for him that you want. This draft is very, very deep, but still, I would not trade Odell Beckham Jr. because he was just injured last year, coming off of a year where we didn't get to see his full ability. like he had the previous years. Sell, it's the old adage: buy low, sell high. So
Mm-hmm.
get him in a full year where people realize that his knee is completely healthy, and then you get the fucking farm for him. And they
Yeah.
still controlled him. He ain't getting any money.
No, exactly. I mean, they kind of get like you haven't really even seen
He
him
is
at
a
his full
troublemaker, though.
potential. If you
Oh,
think
we
about
have.
it, like
Well, come on. Remember that catch? The guy's a stud.
oh
I'm not
yeah,
going
hell
to
yeah.
deny that. He's a stud.
But I mean, even if you really think about it, though, like last year he was hurt,
Yep.
so
But 3 years before that, guy was a beast.
oh
100
yeah,
receptions,
that's a,
1,500 yards, 10 touchdowns. The guy's solid.
mhm.
I just don't see, like I tell you, trading him, I think, would be a biggest mistake, especially if you're going to leave Eli there and or draft with a number 2 pick, Rosen or Allen.
Yeah, I
You
forget.
make your quarterback better.
Who were they looking at? I
Why
just
would
saw
you
it
not?
yesterday.
I think personally, I think they're gonna. It depends on what the Browns do because nobody really knows. Are they gonna take Barkley 1? They don't really have to. I think the Browns would be smart. Take a quarterback. Let the Giants and the Jets pick a quarterback. Take Barkley at 4. They're set.
I don't even know why we would take a fucking quarterback.
You
To be
should.
honest.
Come on. Eli's going out there in a wheelchair.
I mean,
And the
he's
Jets,
old. He's not that old. He's not rolling out in
38
a
years
fucking
old, man.
wheelchair.
He ain't Tom Brady. That's the thing. Tom Brady can play that long, and I hate that motherfucker with
I
a passion.
fucking hate Tom Brady too.
I would pay
And that's
money.
an Assassin Cast exclusive. We hate Tom Brady.
Yeah, I think
Sorry,
anybody
New
that's
England.
listening to this should know.
We
Fuck
just
him.
lost all our New England fans, but you know what? We're New York. We're the best podcast in New York. So what are you
Yeah,
gonna
that's
do?
for all New England fans. Yeah, get off the fucking bandwagon. That's the way I look at it. But
Well, what are you gonna do? He choked. When
it could be the
you
Giants.
well, we won't get into last year. So, well, that's it for sports for now. We might even make that a thing. Who knows? Let's see how it goes. We'll see what the critics say. They want to hear more sports from the two biggest assholes who talk about sports.
Yeah. Well, I'll just rant.
That's what you do best.
Yeah, that's true.
All right. Moving on. We got some gaming news. I've been waiting for freaking 2 weeks to talk about this. So, Donald Trump, our wonderful president.
It's amazing.
Oh my God. Terrible, violent video game clip. It's our reaction and thoughts that I'm looking for right now. And I guess I'll let you lead off with that. I showed you the clip briefly one morning. I don't know if you revisited it recently.
I just can't. For me, I don't know. Maybe it's because we're from a different generation. Like I say, I'm not a soft ass millennial. But you got to be kidding me that this. Like, even him, I don't even blame it solely on him, on anybody, that somehow video games are responsible for the way people or kids nowadays are acting as far as violence goes. It doesn't make any logical sense to me that you're playing Call of Duty, so you now have an epiphany in your brain that says, I'm going to go into school and portray that game the way I see it.
And you know what's funny about that whole thing? They're talking about guns in schools and all this shit, but if you watch that clip, there is like very little gunplay in there. Like, yeah, there's some scenes from Call of Duty.
Resident Evil.
Yeah, it's like a lot of horror shit. Like you're chopping someone in the head with an axe. Last time I looked on the news, there's nobody getting chopped in the fucking head with an axe. It's like it was ridiculous. I mean, you do got some Wolfenstein 2, which we will cover later. I promise. I fucking love that series. But they had that one clip where he's stabbing the Nazi in the neck, but it's like you can clearly make out it's a Nazi. It's like you want to get into a whole thing about what we were doing during World War II. Come on. I just think like they're looking for any little thing to place the blame for what's going on. And to be honest, let's be real here. I'm going to be completely real and honest with you. The video games has nothing to fucking do with it. It's your terrible kids that you don't know how to raise going in and making fun of these kids, and then they get to a breaking point. They can't fucking take it anymore. When I was growing up, and I'm sure, when you were growing up, the thing we were hearing about is Columbine. Columbine. That's our generation. And listen, after Columbine, I don't think any kid got fucked with anymore because nobody wants to get shot in the face. I guess that's always been something that happens, or can happen. I'm not
I think
saying
now you see it more because there's no break for these kids. I see a lot like from my own personal family level where you see they don't get a break. So you get picked. If anybody was ever picked on that listens to this, you went home when you're older. I'm in my 30s. You go home, it's over. You fucking hang with your boys, you do whatever, it's over. Nowadays, that shit constant. It's on Facebook. Like, I laugh with you. I don't fucking use Facebook. I don't use fucking Twitter. I use fucking Snapchat. Like, oh great, you just found out I took a shit. Congratulations.
Exactly.
Here's the
Like,
meal I ate today. But still, that shit is constant. So these people can't get, these kids for that matter, can't get a break. That doesn't mean I condone by any stretch of the means what's been going on in this. But by all, there's no way I'm pointing at somehow video games, as he puts it, is responsible for causing anything else that's going on with this country in that regard. Like, come on.
I mean,
It's a fucking joke.
It's ridiculous. Honestly, it's ridiculous. They needed to put the blame somewhere, and that was the worst place you could possibly put it. I mean, the gaming community.
It's an easy place to put it, I think. I
Oh,
think
yeah.
for them it was a very easy finger to point. Oh, it's the games. These kids are just playing too many games.
Yeah, it's too
And then
violent.
they make a fucking, like you were probably leading into, but then they made a fucking simulation to teach these teachers how to handle a school shooting, ironically, using the same fucking technology that it looked like they were playing Call of Duty.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I am all for learning how to deal with the scenario itself, but then it's like incredible. You can't use one to help with the other.
Absolutely
There's a lot
not.
more ingrained deeper that we have to figure out.
And like most people don't even notice that. That's why we're bringing it up on the podcast right now, because let's keep it real quick. I had to add that into the topics because once I saw that and I realized that we were going to talk about the video game clip, I'm like, we have to put this on there, because you know what? It's a strange resemblance to Call of Duty or Battlefield. I mean, the whole way where they're looking down the sights, like when you're zeroing in on somebody. That's exactly what it is. And you got these teachers walking around loading shotgun shells. Like, come on. Like, how are you going to blame something and then use that same shit you're blaming for teachers to get familiar with guns? Like, now you're causing it's an even bigger problem. Let's keep it real, because you're using the same technology you're hating on to reinforce these teachers. Like, they need real training. I mean, I understand looking at it from a virtual perspective.
I think it's a good simulator's perspective, absolutely.
Yeah, like how to deal with the scenario, how to get yourself out of the scenario, how to save the kids. Like, yeah, that's great. But let's keep it real here. That's not. I mean, I feel like more hands-on training would be better. Firearms are no joke. And
you can't train that way because, like, I think I've said that to you before. There's an ingrained adrenaline rush that's going to happen in any situation you're not comfortable with. I've said it to you with what I do for a living. There is an ingrained thing. It's not that I am better than other people. It's simply I've been exposed more, which allows me to control my emotions better. So the same thing is equal there. When that doesn't mean I want to then kick teachers into, like an army simulation out in the field with a bunch of Marines with guns firing. Of course not. I don't think that's the safest way to do it. But still, they need to realize there is an innate adrenaline rush and fear and panic, and then every person's going to react to that differently.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
And then it's like open season right now. Because it's like you want to wait to give these teachers some sort of training. Maybe not military training. Let's be real.
Exactly.
Maybe like a law enforcement training. Even local police. They come in for a day. They teach you how to store, keep, and use a firearm in a healthy way, or even having armed security, whatever the case is. But like, you're waiting way too long. You want to sit here, blame video games, then you want to use a video game simulator to teach teachers. While all this shit's going on, kids are getting stabbed. There's another. I think I've seen something every 2 days this last 2 weeks that some shit's going down like that.
Exactly.
So it's
I never found that when I was younger. 33 right now is how old I am. I've never remembered this being, like you said, Columbine. You mentioned a few stragglers. So there's, like I said, there's something that needs to be sociologically studied to figure out what the fuck is going on.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with the video games. I mean, most people use video games as a release. Like, you have a terrible day. You come home, you look through your backlog or whatever you're playing at the moment, and you just escape. That's it. It's escape.
Just because exactly. It's like because I play Warcraft. If I did, I'm not running in the next day swinging a club at people. You know what I mean? Like, that's why I laugh at the comparisons. Like, that you play a game shooting. Maybe it makes people a little more controlled. They have to understand to take it to the next level is a completely different psychological aspect. So the question, like I said, what could you do to help that? I mean, don't get me wrong, I have no answers for that regard.
Me neither. I
really
really
don't know.
don't know, but I think they do need some sort of training. And I mean, maybe the virtual simulator is a good thing, but I
Yeah.
don't think, I think they need more hands-on training. I just think it's funny that,
The irony of it,
the
absolutely.
irony, like, and I'm telling you right now, we're touching up on this topic because nobody has. That's the whole thing. Like once I saw that, I was like, boom, we got this. It's like I don't agree with it. I still don't. I don't agree with the clips that he picked for the whole clip. I think if you're gonna show, I can understand the violence factor of it, but come on, man, like that is like ridiculous. That
Yeah.
is ridiculous.
Doesn't want to confront the real issues. That would
Exactly.
be, like I said, that's a whole nother podcast we could talk about.
Yeah, I mean, I think we might keep politics out of it, but I mean, come
Probably
on.
the best.
I mean, our views are going to be different than most of our viewers' views because we're in New York. We don't
Yeah.
agree with a lot of fucking politics anyway,
Yeah.
so
It's true.
that's a whole nother shit. So, other in gaming news, moving on. The next on my list is the Atari box.
You know, it's funny. I'll buy it.
Oh my god! Don't
Pure
even
nostalgia.
say that.
I fucking love me some
Don't
Atari.
say that because I'm going to explain it to you right now. Okay?
I know. I'm only kidding.
Listen, Atari box. The picture of the actual console looks great. It looks very nice. Like it is a sleek looking console. But what's inside the console is a whole nother fucking story. All right. We're not going to go too much in depth on this because this podcast and our future podcasts will be on YouTube, and people on YouTube will talk about this all day long. They've probably been talking about it for months as it is. But we're going to just breeze on this real quick. And it's funny because on my way home on the train, I just watched a podcast talking about this, about the news. It was a recent one. And what's funny is the Atari box, it was like a Kickstarter. So it's like people donate money to get this shit off the ground because they don't got the money themselves to even do it. Atari isn't the same Atari we know. It's been sold and resold and sold again, and it's like a shell of a company. So it's not really the Atari, but it is Atari on that other note.
Motherfucker, it says Atari. It's Atari.
Well, I mean, they own the properties and the name. I don't think they own licensing to a lot of the games, or maybe they do. We don't fucking know their business structure or what they own. But let's get into this box, though. So now, it's literally pretty much a computer, but it's not like the NVIDIA GeForce or whatever the fuck they're up to right now. And let's be honest, PC gaming is on a whole nother level. I know you got the Xbox One X. I'm thinking about getting the Pro. I might even get the X myself.
Still a PC gamer fan. I've told you that before. You
I
can't
know.
tell with my fucking headset.
And
but
honestly,
yeah, I'm a big fan of PC gaming too.
I am too. You know what? I started big
The
on
graphics
the PC.
are just through the roof. That's for me. And it's smoother.
That's the definition. That's the way we're going.
Yeah,
and now they're going to release this Atari box that's like a low-end computer. It's not even like my laptop is probably strong enough to do what it does and more. It probably can't even compare to a laptop. So the Xbox One X, that makes that thing look like a fucking Sega Genesis. I'm not hating on the Sega Genesis. I love the Sega Genesis.
Streets of Rage.
Calm down back there. We hear you. We hear you yelling right now. We hear the comment section blowing up. Relax. I'm not hating on the Sega Genesis. I'm just saying that it is so underpowered that it's not even going to be worth even looking at.
Question is, what are you going to play on it? If it's going to bring me classic games, I might give it a shot. I'm not going to lie to you.
That's what they're saying. They're saying it's going to have the ability to play some new games, do media, and whatever else fuck they're trying to squeeze into this shitty Atari box. And honestly, like, I can understand they want to keep the name alive. I get it. But this is just not the way to do it. This is like out of control.
I think you're too young. You don't understand the nostalgia that's hidden behind the Atari, man.
Listen, I dig the Atari.
Grew up, I said I kind of question whether you're still a millennial. You know, I think you got to look at it. The Atari's real deal in my book.
The NES is where I'm from. All right, I'm not hating
Nintendo. Yeah,
not the Super Nintendo, the NES, the Nintendo Entertainment System. All right, but this is like I don't know. I can understand the nostalgia behind the name. We all want them to come out and do something good. But from what I'm seeing right now, it's just not going to hack it.
Well, you won't be able to compete. I agree
It
with you. I
won't.
don't think they'll ever be able to compete with Microsoft and Sony. They've got that market cornered as far as it goes with like real deal gaming systems. Because, like I said, now that's why I laughed with you. I got the One X because I had a nicer TV. I wanted to see what these games were like in 4K in the Ultra, and it's phenomenal. It really, there's nothing to it. Like, I mean, nothing to compare it to. It is incredible with what they're coming with now.
I know.
Like I said, I played through the Call of Duty, and like for me, I love campaign mode. I love to see the visuals, and it's phenomenal. They've really did an unbelievable job making that. But to me, it's similar to the PC.
It is.
Except my PC monitor cannot, and I'm sure there are ones out there. People can tell us that my PC monitor cannot handle 4K. So, but I want to. I also don't have a 60-inch, monitor that I'm playing the games on. So when I can play it on my actual TV, it is incredible.
No, it is. It's really nice, especially what they're doing with the 4K right now. Like, it's only going to get better. We know that. But, like, the Atari box, it's coming from a place where it's not even going to compete. It's not even going to come close. Let's be real. You know, like, if it's like a mid-range computer, like, let's stay on the technical side real quick. The PS4 Pro and the Xbox One X, they're rocking out with some pretty powerful hardware. And like, even though that it's pretty powerful, just like you said, the PC is triumphing way over that. To get the graphics card I was looking at the other day, it's like $700. All right? There is no way in hell, if you're going to release this Atari box that's a mid-range computer, it's not going to last. Like, even Nintendo's having trouble.
For me, the key with it is in the computer, you can put more pieces into it.
Exactly.
So you can't touch anything on the Xbox or the PS4. I get what I get. Doesn't mean eventually they might not talk about adding on stuff that can make it more powerful. That's the only difference for me. And I don't play on a laptop. I play on a desktop. Is I can add into it, like you just said. I can add RAM. I can add a new video card. I can upgrade my current system piece by piece and make it where it's showing me a better picture. The only difference being the monitor, for me in particular. Other people, if you watch this, send it in, let me know if there's some sort of a monitor I'm missing out on that's going to allow me to do 4K. But a lot of the time, that's really hard, I find.
I'm sure there probably is. I mean, you might even have to step it up to a small TV, but I guess they'll let us know in the comments. I mean,
absolutely.
What we can rock out with.
Let me know, and I'll tell you why you're wrong.
So, plain and simple, the Atari box, we're going to see what happens. But, I mean, it's not like it's going to give the Switch a run for its money. It's not like it's going to give the Xbox or the PS4 a run for its
money. But I'm hoping it's like the Switch, personally, because the Switch is a great console. It's just not something visually that I'm playing it for. Getting nostalgic with like Mike Tyson Punch-Out on better graphics, a little bit of Mario Kart. That is an awesome console to play with like friends and family, but absolutely, it's not a Dolo machine, as I call it. When I want to play Dolo, I play on the fucking Xbox or the PS4.
I mean, like, if we were both to get a Switch, we could be playing Doom on the train, which is
exactly
great
that
thing.
type of shit's cool.
But that's where they're coming from. They're trying to be innovative and do something new. I mean, with Atari, it's like it's for what, media, and it's a mid-level computer. It's not even competing with everything else, and it's not like they got third-party support where they're gonna have their own games coming out.
Rights for games that we've, been praying for the last 10 years, and I agree with you.
Exactly. So I don't really see it going where people want it to go. And it's like there's videos all day about this, and it's like, I honestly, they've been so under wraps about it. The shit that they finally release is like, come on. I mean, I'm pretty sure in the press release they were talking about how, it's good for Minecraft. And it's like, you want a PC.
I fucking hate that fucking game.
Me too. I don't fucking like Minecraft either. But like, I mean, that's more of a younger generation.
I watched my fucking nephew play it. I'm like, what is this?
What the fuck is the point? But that's their game.
I'm making a fucking castle. Like, dude, it looks like shit. And then he's like, oh, look, the water's coming in. It's not even water.
It's like
what is this? Like, what are you playing?
It's like glorified Legos. Like, listen, kid, you stop playing with Legos when you're like fucking 7 years old. Like, why are you playing Minecraft? I don't understand. I don't know.
That game doesn't make any sense to me.
Me
Then I'll
neither.
play the same kid in Madden and whoop the shit out of him and feel fucking great about it. Like, yeah. He's like, oh, you ever play NBA 2K? I played NBA Jam, buddy. Let me show you how I'm on fire. And I'm
Exactly.
fucking raining it down on you and fucking destroying. No mercy.
Hell
Either.
yeah.
I don't care how old you are.
It's
I have no
fucking
mercy.
terrible. It is
You gotta
really
learn to lose
terrible.
before you can love the win.
And you know what's funny? I was watching this guy Pat Contry. What's up, Pat Contry? If you ever get to listen to our podcast, I was listening to his podcast. Probably not. You never know. I mean, I do know a few people on YouTube, but not Pat. But I would like to talk to him one of these days. But what's funny is in his podcast, he actually said like, you know, they were talking briefly about the Coleco Chameleon, like ColecoVision.
Yeah.
And it was like a fucking scam. And when they were going through the press release about the Atari box, it's like there's like exact words and phrases from the fucking scumbag that took all that money from the Coleco Chameleon. And it's like, yo, people are gonna get either fucked on it or they're gonna get something that they're not happy with.
So I should take my money out of the Atari stock that I just bought yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know how much Atari stock would be. God only fucking knows.
10 cents. Who knows? How much does a floppy disk cost?
Who only knows. So that's the Atari box, ladies and gentlemen. Not something you want to get into. I mean, if you do, please let us know. Please prove us wrong. We would both love to see something good from Atari.
Not gonna lie, I would. I got love for the Atari. I got love for the Atari.
I just don't know, man. I just don't know.
I just can't see it matching up.
Me neither. So moving on, I got 2 Ubisoft things I want to talk about. One I got today, but let's talk about this first. So there was some breaking news about release. Oh, Ubisoft is releasing Assassin's Creed Rogue, which I told you to start with before you went.
Never played them. I'm not gonna lie, I'd probably anger people that hear this. Never played in the Assassin's Creed.
Don't worry, guys. Trying to get them on it. I mean, a lot of people.
I just tell them it is a new version Tomb Raider. The new Tomb Raider, however, phenomenal. But
yes.
like I said, it just reminds me too similar to the game. Maybe people can tell me otherwise. But
I mean,
you know,
it's not really Tomb Raider. I can see where you get that from.
The gameplay,
like the action adventure part of it. But the storyline is great for me.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people have mixed views on it because of the way their releases were in the past, where they got like a lot of shit for broken games where they needed to update people's faces just fucking moving off the body, like eyes popping out of the fucking skull. Like it was bad. So they got a lot of hate for that, but like the storylines in themselves, I really dig. You know, like the ones that I'm currently playing through, I'm playing through the Ezio trilogy, where it starts Assassin's Creed 2, Brotherhood, and Revelations. It's the trilogy with Ezio, which is like takes place in the 1500s in Italy. It's a great storyline. I'm getting to the end of it. That's where I'm at right now. Which I replayed through 2, and Brotherhood I never got into. I actually got rid of my Xbox 360 is when I first played that. But now I'm revisiting the series, and I'm loving it. And that's why I was like, listen, if you're going to start up before you play Origins, I think they actually have a lot of them on remastered on Xbox One. So you could really get into it from where I'm at right now. I think they have the trilogy remastered. But Assassin's Creed Rogue, it was leaked. That when I showed you originally, it was like a couple weeks ago. Yeah. We weren't really supposed to see that. It was somebody made a mistake somewhere, and it shit went on Amazon in Europe or something. Guys. Yeah, and it's like, oh, damn, we weren't supposed to tell people about this yet. And, you know, we got to see a little brief version of it. They got a trailer. I don't know if the Rogue Remastered came out yet. I might be wrong. We're going to have to be corrected on that. But it looks nice, especially for the Xbox One X. It's going to look great with the snow falling and everything. It's going to be good. It's a good one to jump in before you do. Yeah, before you do Origins.
You ain't playing it, buddy.
Don't rub it in, all right? I'm working on maybe getting the Pro, but honestly, I might get the X, so maybe me and you could stream. If the people like how the podcast goes, maybe we could stream some gameplay if people want to see that. But
Jeremy lose, in case you guys wondering.
Yeah, you want to see me maybe get my ass kicked. My 55 rank on Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Oh, speaking of Modern Warfare, I actually replayed the first Modern Warfare. I just wanted to
I
get
think
through
this,
my
yeah.
backlog, and like I was telling you, I went online and I'm like shooting people in the face, and they're like, "Damn, this guy's like a 5% rating. Like, where the fuck did he come from?" But yo, listen, I kick ass when I want to, you know. I mean, there's some days where I get shot in the face every 5 minutes, but then there's some days where I'm shooting people in the face.
Damn kids kicking your ass. I
I
hear you,
know,
man.
right? Oh my God. So anyway, so Assassin's Creed Rogue Remastered. It looks really good. Maybe Dan will give us the scoop on his little 3-day weekend coming up. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe I'll have to give it a whirl. You know, I'm not kidding. I just, like I said, never jumped into it yet. The storyline never grabbed me. I was always, for me personally, like I said, I stuck more towards like Tomb Raider. That was the type of game like Lara Croft grabbed me more than
Hmm.
playing anything with Assassin's Creed. Doesn't mean I won't give games a shot, but
I
like I said,
mean,
I play a lot of games on PC too. I've even played a lot of MMOs when I was younger, more when I
hmm
had more time. But that stuff too, I don't mind. I'll play a lot of different shit, but I gotta get into something first, and that's the hardest part for me. Is taking that first initial step. So for me, it would be like, I can't buy the new one because I haven't played the old ones. I don't know if I like it,
yeah.
and that's how I end up being.
That's why I feel like this one's a good one to get into. I
Yeah.
mean, I haven't really personally went through Rogue yet, but you could always just get the trilogy. Since we know it's on Xbox One
Or,
X, you could get the trilogy
well, do a little
first.
4K on that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody says that's usually. I think when I looked, like one of the best as far as visuals go for the games, that was up there. It was that and the new Tomb Raider got it too. And I think
Yeah.
I can't remember the name of it. Other people might know it if they listen. Like the second part of Shadows of Mordor got
Yeah.
another great 4K update. But
Hmm.
like I said, those are the type. They all to me are very very similar in their game style, third person point of view.
Hmm.
I've kind of lost, like I told you, I've lost my urge for first person shooters. I love campaign modes on Call of Duty. I will buy
Yeah.
them strictly for that because I'm a big history buff. But as far as playing online anymore, I'm kind of losing touch on that.
Well, that's
Uh,
why I've been telling you to get the Wolfenstein series
yeah,
because
you said that.
they're not big multiplayer
Think you're gonna fucking
games.
stock in it for Christ's sake.
I know, right? Shit. No, but seriously, I love it. I grew up with Wolfenstein 3D, man. That's my shit. That's my heart right there. So
Yeah,
when,
he's 18, guys.
yeah, I'm 18. I just got out of high school yesterday, motherfucker. I'm here to
Thicker beard than
stay.
me. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, check this beard out for 18. You know. Shit. Nah, but seriously, the Wolfenstein series has a good campaign. So like you would definitely dig on, I'm telling you. But so yeah, Assassin's Creed Rogue Remastered, I feel like it's good. And I think Dan should take a look at it since he's up on the X. He can give us
Let us
maybe
know. People let me know if you get enough views and people want to let me see and tell me how good it is. I will give it a shot. Like I said, I got time coming up where I'm going to be doing nothing, and I'm hoping somebody gives me an idea on a game I can play.
yeah, so definitely
Yeah.
we'll get into that. I'm pretty sure we'll get some good reviews on it. Also in Ubisoft news, we got two more things. We got the next Assassin's Creed title after Origins, because now Rogue is a remaster.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not
He
a
said
new
that.
game, but the next Assassin's Creed title is to take place in ancient Greece.
How many fucking ones are there though? Christ, what are there, like 30 of them?
Listen, I got fucking four sitting there on PS3. That's just PS3. That's not even going into. I don't think Unity is on the last gen. I think
Like
it's
good old
this.
days, like Metal Gear Solid. That was a game I loved.
You know what? There's the only thing I like about the Assassin's Creed series is that it's good gameplay for your money. It's like if you buy one of those games at $60 release price or whatever the fuck it is right now, you're not gonna be disappointed. You know,
What was
like
it like
you're
40
getting
hours gameplay?
at the very least 40. That's if you just do the straight
Straight through.
missions.
Yeah.
That's not without the side missions. You can go easily 60, maybe even 80, depending on how you want to play it. I know the later versions, you have to do a little bit more shit to get a good percentage at the end, but it's definitely good. And, like, honestly, ancient Greece is interesting. I find that pretty interesting, actually.
I like histories. Like I said, you perked me there just talking
Yeah.
about that. To be honest,
So, like, I don't know how they're going to tie it in, to be honest. So I don't know how it's gonna really work its way into the series, but ancient Greece will be pretty dope. Like, you never know. It could be some on some 300 shit where you're
well, they
like in
did
straight
Egypt,
up
right?
war. Yeah, right now Origins in Egypt.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's like where it's starting from.
Yeah.
But we're gonna say, or maybe I don't know. I don't know how this ancient Greece is gonna play into the timeline. But just the concept alone really has me thinking like it's gonna be a dope game, especially in 4K. Like I can only imagine. Like
That's where they get you. Well, I
exactly.
mean, U360 and PS3 don't do 4K, but
Yeah, well, we're gonna be updating right now. I'm working on it. We're gonna be updating real soon. This guy don't let me live over here. Like let a guy live. Give me
you
a
gotta love
fucking
4K.
second.
He doesn't
Jeez.
understand the 4K people. That's the
All
problem.
right, listen, guys. I have a backlog of over like 80 games just sitting over there. I am like in no rush to update. That's the only reason why.
Well, there you go.
You
If you didn't
know,
buy 80 games, you'd have a fucking 1X, man. Jesus Christ.
let's just say you
Fucking $4,000 worth of games. You have fucking. That's without tax, mind you, people.
yeah, that's without tax. Oh, I mean, I don't know.
You can always bring them to GameStop. I heard they take games now.
Yo, fuck
You
GameStop.
can also sell a My Little
Listen,
Pony.
we. Oh yeah. Wait, did I get to that? Oh, that's not even on the topic list this week. My experience at GameStop. We'll save that for next week. My experience at
Absolutely.
GameStop. But
It's interesting, people. Don't worry.
oh, it is an
May not
interesting
like you.
story. Let me tell you. I wish I could add it in. We're already at an hour, so guys, I'm sorry in advance. You're definitely gonna enjoy it, but you know, we have to stay on point so we don't go this long every time. We're trying to do these podcasts at least 45 minutes, you know. But I like listening to a long podcast, but some people might not. So I mean, we'll get more into that at the end, but let's just try and stay on point real quick. Even though I got my terrible backlog over there, I will be joining you soon, I promise.
Yeah. Send them an Atari box, people.
Yeah. Send me an Atari box. I'll see you later, motherfuckers. All right. Moving on. This one you're going to really like now that we're on the topic of the Xbox One. We got 40%. Yeah, Xbox One. Oh, excuse me. Let me cut Jeremy off. All right. To make sure people know it's the X. We know, Dan. 4K.
You gotta know. You gotta make sure they know.
Jesus fucking Christ. 40% off Xbox One titles at Toys R Us due to the Chapter 7 bankruptcy. And I'm saying that with a smile, which is actually pretty fucking sad. Chapter 7 bankruptcy.
Fucking Jeffrey, the fucking giraffe, is on the goddamn food law.
Oh my god. I saw a fucking thing on Facebook with him crying. It it made me feel sad for a second. Like, Jeffrey crying? Like, that's new.
Fuck Jeffrey. I used to hate that guy when I was fucking growing up.
Yeah, that fucking asshole.
Driving around on Power Wheels, and I'm fucking
like, come meet Jeffrey this weekend.
Fuck Jeffrey. Fuck me, that guy.
So what do you think about the bankruptcy though? 40% off Xbox One titles. I don't know about the hardware. I'm actually gonna go in there, matter of fact, and see what maybe I could update to the 4K, motherfucker.
If they sell it. That's the key.
I mean, that's the thing. They're liquidating their shit. So for those who don't know what Chapter 7 bankruptcy is, Chapter 7 bankruptcy is the bad bankruptcy. I can't stress that enough.
As compared to the good bankruptcy, guys. You Google that. There's a good bankruptcy.
I mean, there's no good and bad when it comes to bankruptcy. But let's put it this way. Chapter 7 is, let me give you an example real quick. You're going to love this. All right, so you go into Toys R Us and now they're in Chapter 7 bankruptcy. So you could buy your Xbox One. You could buy your 40% off Xbox One titles. You can go up to the counter. You could buy the guy's shirt off his back that says Toys R Us on it. They'll sell you the register and the fucking counter if you could put it in your truck and take it the fuck out of the store. That's Chapter 7 bankruptcy. Everything must go, including the shelving. And we don't even know, man. They might have some retro shit in the back that's been there for years. And you know what? You know why I say that? I don't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry. But, I say that because the Toys R Us over here in Massapequa, that one has been there since I was a fucking wee little lad. And it has never changed. It's never went out of business and came back. It's been there forever. So you don't even know what they have in the back. That's why I wanted to also talk about it. Like, we might be able to get on some good old retro shit they got in the back, maybe. I mean, we'll never know, but... So, yeah, pretty much you're buying the shirt off the fucking guy's back at the end of the day. The counter, the display, anything. Even Jeffrey the Giraffe has a price.
Whoop his ass.
Yeah, if you want to whoop his ass in the parking lot, you could pay for that, too.
You never know, like you're saying. It could be like Tickle Me Elmo's fucking Cabbage Patch Dolls in the back. You never know.
You never know,
They ain't
motherfuckers.
letting you back there. So
Oh,
it
they
don't matter.
definitely not. You're gonna have
That's
to
how you
wait.
get paid, by the way. That's how they pay their employees. You each get a Cabbage Patch now. That's how they're doing it. You get to ride out on a Razor scooter with a My Little Pony and Cabbage Patch doll instead of paying their employees.
Yo, and then listen to this. This is what's funny. So now Lego and Mattel. I think they're both Mattel.
Mattel's still in fucking.
Yeah, can you believe that
Mattel's still in
Mattel is
business.
still in fucking business after all these years? So anyway, they're giving Toys R Us shit now, and I can't even like say that they're in the wrong because if you look at it from a business standpoint, they're in the fucking wrong. All right.
Yeah.
So now Toys R Us, they get their Chapter 7 bankruptcy. It goes through in court, right? So now Lego and Mattel are like, yo, what the fuck? You just took a shipment from me, and now you're accepting another shipment.
Yeah,
And
buddy.
they're like, yo, sorry, everything must go. 40% off, motherfuckers. See you later. Peace. We
It
gotta.
would be their loss in the end, but
Well, that's
meaning,
what I'm saying.
Toys R Us still loses, not Mattel, really.
Yeah,
Just gives them a bad name.
but yeah,
Don't
they
want-
shouldn't
don't
have done that. Let me tell you. Like if you know you're if you're filing Chapter 7 bankruptcy, you have a shipment on the way, and you just took a shipment, that is really bad way to leave your business. Like leaving on that note is terrible.
I can think of a worse note. If the guy fucking died.
Oh yeah, that's next in our that's next in our topic.
I could think of a worse way to go, minus the fucking shipment loss.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
you die.
So what Dan's talking about is Charles Lazarus, the founder of Toys R Us. He died a week after the bankruptcy decision at 94.
Fucking broken heart. Yeah.
I mean, maybe that was the iceberg, that took down the Titanic.
Fucking Jeffrey poisoned him.
Yeah, Jeffrey's like, listen, we're out anyway, man. They're about to sell me, so eat this fucking rat poison in your cornflakes, and that was it. Like, it's bad. I feel bad for the guy. 94. He got to see his last thing he sees is his Toys R Us going to shit. And you know what? Who's really to blame here?
Probably died in his yacht. I'm not feeling too bad for him.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I mean, the guy's probably fucking well off, but like, I mean, who's really to blame here? Toys R Us is really to blame here because they didn't go up with the times. They didn't get on the internet. I heard their online store was fucking trash. So it's like, if you're not going to keep up with the times, Amazon is putting everybody out of fucking business.
Yeah.
Look at Netflix and Blockbuster, all right?
Told you that. Biggest blunder ever was, if people look it up, Blockbuster had an opportunity to buy Netflix when it was first coming out for I wouldn't know the exact figure, but let's just say $2 million. And Blockbuster's response was, who's going to rent movies online?
Hey, who's going to do that? And now look,
And
there's no fucking such a thing as a
Now my
goddamn
Blockbuster card is a fucking antique.
Exactly. And now...
RedTube's doing better than Blockbuster.
It's so true. And you know what's funny though? At the end of the day, they didn't want to come up with the times. Like Blockbuster could have been a Netflix, but they were like, no. And then it's like Toys R Us, they're lucky to still be in the game right now. They are lucky. They should have been all over that whole Amazon delivery shit. They should have their own delivery service, and then maybe it would have been a different fate. But at the end of the day, they're out. That's it. Done. You could fucking buy the mop and bucket in the back if you want. It's like
Baby R Us and Kids R Us goes with them, guys. So
yeah, Baby R Us too. But guess what?
I don't
Now
know about
people,
you guys, I'm kind of fucked when it comes to buying gifts on Christmas for like all the young guys or kids in the family, like nieces and nephews. Because I'd go to Toys R Us like 2 days before fucking Christmas and buy them shit.
well, exactly. But now you're gonna have to do it on Amazon. And the one good thing about Toys R Us was at least they were up on what the kids like. It's like we're not sitting here watching Cartoon Network. How the fuck are we supposed to know? So now it's like you're gonna have to do this digging on Amazon to even see anything come close. So I mean, well, not to come close, but to really know what the fuck you're buying. You're gonna actually have to
They're all
read.
going out though. Like I said,
Yeah,
everything. It's like Radio Shack. I told you. I think I mentioned that to you one other time. I needed a fucking female piece to put a headset into my computer. Couldn't find it. I wanted it right then and there. So I wanted it.
Nope.
Drove all over the place. First time in my life, I wish there was a Radio Shack.
Even
Best
with
Buy didn't sell it. Yeah.
no, you're absolutely right. Even with the fucking podcast the other night, I'm like, oh, we could do it like this with this special jack, and it's like, yeah, if I could just run to Radio Shack right now, we would be in business the other night. But guess what? Doesn't exist. Not waiting for Amazon. Fix it a different way. It is what it is. So yeah, I mean, unfortunately, it's terrible that Charles Lazarus passed away. It's a sad thing, you know, especially seeing his business go down the fucking toilet at the very end. I mean, that's probably the monkey on the back
Kids,
right there.
grandkids will still be fucking riding in the same yacht he died in. So I have a little
Exactly.
less compassion for the guy, but
Exactly. So now, for those who don't know, now you know. The bankruptcy.
it's
it,
bad.
it's bad. It's the bad one. And 40% off all your Xbox One titles. I don't know about PS4. I have yet to be in there myself, but if you're trying to get deals right now, now's the fucking time to go. So you heard it from me and Dan. We're telling you, get your ass in there. Maybe even Dan on his days off might go in there and pick up his
You
next
never
title.
know. We'll get some
Listen,
Assassin's Creed. Who knows?
yeah, 40% off. That's the way to fucking go. That's where I'd be. So, you know, that's it. I
No,
mean,
I know where you'll be. He'll be on the Long Island Railroad commuting. So.
oh yeah, fuck man. I don't even want to get started on how much I hate them. Oh, and speaking of the Long Island Railroad real quick, they're doing tax hikes in 2019.
Who'd have
Right
thought?
around the fucking corner. So, that's going to be another drama season for us, let me tell you.
I would have thought.
Who would have known? Yeah, and then especially I sent you that article last night. Motherfuckers are
Funny
making
to
like they're making like $300,000 a year, but we're fucking getting raped. Uncle Sam rapes us enough, but you know, Long Island Railroad wants to get in on the action,
A lot of
and they
money.
want to rape us too. So, fucking Lord
You
Christ.
think if they're gonna put it in my ass that hard, you'd think they'd give me a more comfortable seat on the fucking train. You'd think. But no, I still have to sit in seats where my
No
fucking
fucking
legs are
way.
getting cramped.
That's crazy. Oh man. So that comes to the end of the topic list. So that's where we're at. So real quick before we sign out, I just want to speak a little bit about the podcast itself. We're gonna choose a day, and we're gonna record and upload that day. So to be announced is the day when we're gonna upload. We're gonna try and keep it consistent once a week, so we don't have to, you know, hit everybody with like 28 topics at once.
Yeah.
And then also, you can find this podcast. It's gonna be on Podbean. It's gonna be the Assassin Cast, and I will leave it in the description for YouTube, obviously, and it will be on YouTube. And for the first couple Assassin Casts will be on YouTube at its full amount. So right now we're running at an hour and 11 minutes. So at this whole hour and 11 minutes for the first couple episodes, that's going to be fully available on YouTube. But
I apologize
otherwise,
to have to listen to my voice and my mug for an hour.
yeah, but you know what? You guys got a little bit of something to watch. But if you're in the car and you want to listen, or you're just getting home and you just want to relax, we will take that and run with it for real. So to be announced, and we might even make a Twitter, Dan. I don't know what the fuck Twitter really is these days, but
I'd have to make an account.
oh,
Like a fucking
Jesus
caveman.
Christ. I mean, I don't know. Maybe we could do a joint one because I don't really.
Do you sign up for that with mail? You have to mail that in? I don't know. I really don't. You guys think I'm kidding? I don't fucking do any of that shit.
Yeah, Dan was rocking out on the iPhone 4 or 5 for like the last fucking 3 years.
Yeah, when that guy made fun of me the other and I finally upgraded, yeah, it hurt a little bit. It stung.
Exactly. I mean, he was
I might
in
have
every right.
the consoles, but yeah, I don't run with all that other shit.
Exactly. So we're gonna try and keep up with the times, and
I'll try.
you know, and we're gonna hit you guys next week with another one. Believe me, there's a lot of fuckery going on in this world. So, and we are here to commentate on it from the best podcast in New York, the Assassin Cast.
Peace out, guys.
Peace.